Back to the Never Adventure Podcast. My name is Ned.
And my name is Rowdy Russellton.
It sounded like Babyface back coming in here.
My name's Babyface.
My name's Babyface. If y'all
Pick me, I'm quite handy.
If y'all are a fan of our ads from all the episodes, Babyface might make a return at some point.
That was also a Time Splitters reference for all my GameCube fans out there.
For all my GameCube
Dude,
fans
that
out
is
there.
one of the best games from childhood. Easily. Time Splitters was the bomb. You can make your own, it's like Call of Duty, but more cartoony, and you can make, and more outer space, and you can make your own courses. And I mean, it's just so good. Why don't people do that?
Whatever you say, man. Whatever you say. It sounds like Minecraft to me. It all sounds
it was anyways.
Well, anyway, we are talking this week about episode 17, When the Bells Thaw.
When the bells thaw.
Yeah, which I thought was that's a good play on words.
Yeah, it was good. And also it kind of makes sense because it's a flawed wedding. The wedding doesn't really happen. Well, it does. Actually, I didn't know this. Jake and Ice King were a thing.
Yeah, man.
The whole time, I think they did that on purpose. I think Jake really wanted to be married to Ice King.
Married to Ice King.
Yeah, they've been flirting a lot. Now that I look back on it, y'all go back, rewatch all the episodes like I did, and they are flirting nonstop. Ice King kisses Jake's butt, and that's where it started.
As long as you consider punching a form of intimate touching.
Flattery.
Right? Flattery,
actually.
Intimate touching.
Yeah.
Flirtatious punching.
That's some people's love language.
Oh man, well
it's rough.
This episode was interesting.
Yeah,
needless to say, it's not really an adventure episode until the very end.
It's like half of it is Manlorette party.
Yeah,
which is a man bachelorette party. Which there's other terms for that.
I honestly prefer that term. And instead of a bachelor party, I would way rather it be called a manlorette party.
You don't like being called a bachelor?
I'd rather be called a manlorette.
Well, what would a bachelor pad be called?
A manor.
A manor.
I tried to pull
That's
that one
good.
out quick.
No, I like it. Where'd it go?
I don't know. We could roll with that. We can get some different manlorette terms. But we kick off the episode. Obviously, Ice King's coming to Finn and Jake. Shows him that he's got what I learned this week was that lady's called Old Lady Princess.
Yeah, that was a funny one because did you look up the fandom.com at all?
I didn't pull up her bio, but I just got her name.
Do you know what species she is?
No.
She's of the old lady species.
The old lady. So there is old lady species.
There's a whole species.
Okay, we got our answers, guys, when we were back on in the Enchiridion episode, and we were wondering why the little fairies were blowing up old ladies. There's a whole species of them. But we're full circle, baby. Let's go.
But if this is, to last episode, because we totally missed something I meant to bring up in the ocean, this is Earth, right? After an apocalypse sort of a thing, right? And so at the bottom of the ocean, we saw a bunch of buildings and we saw cars and all that stuff, which we, for some reason, didn't even talk about at all. But
we talked about that in Witch's Garden episode too,
But so why is there an old lady species if this is just like shouldn't they just be old ladies?
Oh, they're obviously not human still. Even you could kind of tell she didn't really look like humanly when she even when she wasn't cursed. So
she's like it's like green skin or something.
Yeah,
it was a little spooky.
Yeah. I mean, definitely if you held up Finn and her against each other, you'd be like, nah, I'm not.
And is it even a curse? Is that a curse or is that just she's trapped? I don't know.
I mean, I didn't dig into my witchcraft terminology over here.
We need to find an expert. Any expert witches out there or wizards. Or whatever. I don't know. Is there another term? I don't know.
I don't know.
Please hit us up and let us know what this actually qualifies as, because I am genuinely curious.
Yeah, because I don't know if it's just it could be a cursed ring and thus you are cursed, or it could be or there's like something called like a totem, or like, I don't know, like where it's a cursed item, or like it's
a spell was cast on the item.
Yeah,
it could
something
be that.
like that. Ice demons.
The ring to rule them all was sort of that, right? Like it was created.
The one old lady.
Yeah, the one old. Well, apparently there's many of them, but this was the princess of all of them.
When Ice King introduces himself, we all catch in the beginning. He goes, "She fell in love with me right when I slipped her engagement ring on," and I was like, "Okay, off the bat, like, even if you didn't know what happened in this episode, you're like that." That's not. Yeah, he's either crazy or sketchy.
I didn't even bother. Like, I didn't even notice it.
You didn't
honestly.
Notice it?
Yeah. Well, first time watching it, but then I love her response to like, "All right, see you later, cool guy," or whatever. She's like, "Cool guy."
See you later, cool guy.
Yeah, it seems like weirdly youthful of her.
Which is why again, like, she's an old lady species, even though she's probably not an old lady.
Oh,
like,
I don't
age wise.
I don't like thinking of her as like 19.
She's got a super like young
22 or something,
like lady's voice. So I thought that was a funny, probably on purpose character choice, like voice choice for them.
Voice choice. And they went a little cartoony too. And it's like, in order for our heroes to see that something was wrong, you could see like her actual soul or whatever in her eye.
Trapped
like, hey,
the prison of her own.
There's something wrong. Yeah.
Well, so Ice King then convinces Finn and Jake to throw him a bachelor party, and then he's like, "No, a Manlorette party," and I love it. I love the fact that it's called Manlorette. I wish that was the term. Like, I'll say it again. Like, that's just, I think it's just hilarious that rolls through this whole episode.
It's like several days of partying too. They do.
I don't know, man.
The Manlorette party, right? Like it seemed like because they went to a club. Mm-hmm. Hanging out with some teddy bears, doing some dancing, and then they went and hung out with some wood guys or some wood boys or woody boys or whatever. I don't know what they're
living
called.
Tree ints.
Yeah, I like woody boys better.
Woody boys.
Some woody boys, and I don't know where that voice comes from. And it just seemed like a much better time, like let's do a full thing with it.
Well, I wanted to specifically point out the whole Manlorette scene. One, song was awesome.
The song
was so good,
so dope. And I wish we could just have it going this entire episode.
I know, the song comes actually again in season 5 in an episode called "We Built a Truck." And same song, and they use it again. So it's not over. You get one more.
We built a truck.
Yeah,
it might be my least favorite episode.
No, it's Banana Guy, not Banana Guard. Finn and Banana Guy and Jake all build a truck with BMO.
Okay.
It's great. Well, it's actually a great episode, but that song comes again. But I wanted to say, like, the Manlorette party, I think they tried to do this interesting, what would a Vegas bachelor party look like in the land of Ooh, and put all the cliches in there. Because I've got 4 cliches here.
Okay.
The club, which was like the dancing bears, kind of almost resembles a strip club, because like one of the bears like sexily winks at him.
Yeah.
And then like the rough and tough like bouncer bear comes and like kicks him out for flirting with the girls.
I think that was, I see what you're saying.
I thought he was like the bouncer.
Yeah, you're probably right.
He was like flirting with the stripper and got kicked out.
I totally was like, why would she be like, why isn't he mad at her? You're totally right. Yeah. I think it was the bouncer bear.
Yeah. So that's like Manlorette. Cliche number 1. Manlorette cliche number 2. We went to the bar after the strip club and got in a fist fight. Mm-hmm.
Gotta do that.
Tough guy got in a fist fight from spitting on another guy at the bar. Manlorette cliche number 3. After all the rough and crazy night, we just spent an afternoon in the pool. A relaxing Vegas afternoon in the pool. And so that was when they were floating down the river on the big leaf.
Oh, yep.
And totally Ice King, like splashing and going crazy. They're trying to just
they're like hungover and he's just pool. Like,
exactly. So
no, dude, we got to keep going.
It's like day after partying, and the bachelor is the Manlorette is still drunk from the night before. Cliche number 4, it all ends with him going, "Why am I getting married?"
Yeah, the second thoughts about the wedding.
Into the Manlorette party.
What was with the little lovely of mine, the little snow boy? Give me some sugar, baby.
Little snow boy was my lovely too. Give me that sugar, baby.
Yeah, the little snow boy was just a lovely little boy.
He couldn't not be your lovely of the episode.
What was the thing that Ice King was doing with him? Like, was it just...
It was just so random. And like, there was no explanation. He just like made the cutest snowball and then just chunks it on the ground.
That one, it's more sad to me than when the Ice Cube boy melted into his little puddle.
Because the Ice Cube boy was happy he melted.
He was trying to, yeah.
And this snowball did not ask to be brought into this world.
There needs to be a therapist.
Smashed.
There needs to be a therapist in Ooh, because there's a lot of creatures that are just like, I'm ready to die, and like the balloons and the Ice Cube boy, and
we can finally die.
There's too many ready to die. Like, y'all.
Yeah, for Finn, who fights for sentient beings, there seems to be a lot of sentient beings that pass away. I think it's without second thought.
I think it's time we cancel Adventures. I'm just kidding. We don't have a podcast anymore.
Too much death for me.
We don't have a podcast anymore. Yeah, he refers to. Remember when he refers to his future bride as the old battle axe?
Yeah,
I thought that was great because that's something that Norm Macdonald, a comedian, he would always come on to late night type shows, and he would refer to his and like stupid jokes that aren't actually related to him, because I don't even know if he's married, but he would refer to like his fake wife as his old battle axe, which is like even a reference to a comedian before that whose name is definitely not coming to my head right now. But do you have, when you're just like, the old ball and chain or whatever, do you have anything like that?
Ball and chain, the old stinky.
That's what you call
it. We just call each other stinky.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's cool. As long as it's y'all both are down for that.
As long as we're both down for it.
In case y'all are first time listeners, which would be an interesting thing for y'all to join us on this episode, but Ned is married.
I got that bling bling, son.
Yeah, and I am not, but this is, an Adventure Time podcast. Two bros diving into it.
I know.
And it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
two brothers.
Two brothers.
Well, we're not brothers, but in a sense, I like to think that we are.
In a sense. Now in a podcast.
It is in a podcast.
As close as brothers.
What is let's try something we've never tried before on this podcast, Ned. Let's do a visual gag.
Visual gag.
Yeah. Could you show me your listening to music face? Oh gosh, Ned. Oh geez. Y'all don't even know. This is terrifying. Oh.
That's me just headbanging because it's mostly like crappy pop punk.
He did so much more than that. I can't even tell you what he just did. I'll show you mine. Ready?
Right. That just looks like you were really, really surprised like what was in your poop or something.
Good music. Yeah, I like it. That's what I do when I listen to music.
Or you're eating like really bland food.
Yeah, good food. Yeah, I like this food. Pretty good. Anyways, man.
Oh man. Well, what was your thoughts on what Ice King has under his beard?
I was going to say he needs to wash his robes.
Yeah, very dirty.
He is. I almost wanted to just start ranting or chanting, Ice King's a creep. Wash your robes, because you look so gross, my man. But I can't even remember. It was two items, right? That he had underneath his robes.
Like ghosts in a bag and the demonic wishing eye.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of was just like, that was just like a visual gag.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to pin that into your brain because again, season 5,
it's going to come back.
The demonic wishing eye is actually like a really crucial part to an episode.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I wanted to make sure that we stopped and breathed and remembered that we're all building canon right now, which is, so it's even like little things like this that we can catch. And I want to catch that canon for you. So when it comes up again, you're like, oh shoot, we definitely talked about that in season 1,
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, a lot better than me just hopefully coming across it and saying it on a random podcast, maybe.
Yeah. The more we catch now, the more enjoyable like season 2, and then season 3 is going to be more enjoyable, when we've really talked about every little thing,
Well, let's I think we should take a moment and go to our advertisement for a second, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about we'll dive deeper into second thoughts before a wedding, and also probably the wedding itself, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We didn't even finish like the recap of the episode.
Yeah.
Obviously you guys all watched it before you listened, you dummies.
And a lot of times we don't recap the episodes. So
a lot of times we don't anyway. So, but yeah, we'll let them sponsees get a word in, and we will be back soon.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Hey.
Welcome to Ice Gardens.
Welcome to what has been a lovely 100 years of incredible times, moments, family gatherings, weddings,
events,
concerts,
flowers. We have it all.
We've even had a funeral or two.
Let's not talk about that.
They were beautiful, though.
They were awful. With a lovely view of the land of Ooh, coolers in the basement for all of your food and refreshments, ice flowers provided by the wonderful Ice King.
And also, the whole thing is ice. So really, you got a beer, just keep it in your hand or put it on the ground for a minute, and it'll be as cold as you need it.
Don't believe us? Listen to a few of our happy customers.
Oh boy, I'm babyface, and I had a grand old time at my wedding here. It didn't last, but it was a good old wedding.
Hi, I'm Manishman, and I've been married and divorced 3 times. And every single time, it was at Ice Gardens. I can say it was lovely. I got to smash a bunch of ice. I loved it.
And what's so great about that is if you call now or if you visit our website, we've got a just incredible coupon. Could you tell them about our coupon?
Yes. If you use code Ice Gardens Sing Along Sing Song at checkout, then you will receive 20% extra fee on your next visit.
That's right. And we hope to have you for every wedding here, now, and forever.
Come to Ice Gardens. I don't know. Fuck me.
It may be terrible.
Every bit of that was canon. Sitting over here trying not to laugh.
It just depends on how long it is.
It's pretty long. No, it was a long one.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. My name is Ned. Thank you for listening to our ad.
Yeah, I'm so glad you took the introduction back into the episode, Ned.
Yeah.
That's my favorite voice that we do.
Suck it.
Oh, dang.
Well, I got a question for you.
Okay.
What is your Manlorette party going to be like one day?
Oh, my gosh. Well, Ned, some people just aren't ready to be married.
No, I said one day.
I know,
day.
but that was my lesson for the episode.
But some people just aren't ready to be married.
Some people just aren't ready to be married yet.
Yeah. I had a different lesson. I'll bring up my lesson towards the end. It might be a little deeper.
Yeah, what is my Manlorette party going to be like one day?
Yeah, ideal Manlorette party.
That's a great question. It won't involve skydiving, and it probably won't involve roller coasters, as we learned last week. I think, it'd be hard not to just go to a beach and just enjoy a good beach time with some buds. I know, like, you've gone to Vegas for one.
Yeah, that's too much, guys.
I couldn't imagine one. No shade. No beef with the person that did that because, I mean, it probably was a great time.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
and
Eric.
He's a great guy.
If you're listening, we had a blast, but like, I almost died.
And also like you got the whole, what is the stereotype? What is the freaking movie? And that's not even a good
The Hangover.
Joke. The Hangover scenario is going to happen, but no, I don't know. I think it's like too much to ask of people, and it's
good,
so
man.
expensive to go to Vegas. I just couldn't do that to people.
Yeah,
I just couldn't do it.
And
but
you don't want to be like the Ice King asking Finn and Jake, like, throw me a party.
No.
And then they have to go out of their way to like do too much stuff for you.
It's like if I'm going to your wedding, and from a cheap person's perspective, I'm going to your wedding, I'm, buying you a gift off of your registry. And then if your wedding is like a destination wedding, like, where do you get off? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, man. But say a destination bachelor party, unless, like, I get why people come up to Nashville for that stuff, because it's like, you're just asking people to go to the bars, but come to a place and we'll go to the bars. And
come to the place where the bars are built for these kind of parties.
But like New York would be dope, but I'm not going to ask people to fly to New York. The answer is I don't know.
Yeah.
beach thing would be dope.
Beach, just in general, I think that's a good place to start. But like honestly, like beach and sitting on leaves, floating through the water, just chilling.
That'd be pretty nice.
That sounds nice, man.
Do you have any? What did you do for your bachelor party?
We did 2 days in Athens, Georgia. Some of you guys are gonna hate me because it probably sounds like the most southern thing possible. But we got a buddy's farm. Some of my friends bought a refrigerator kegerator off of Craigslist for like $50. And then we got a generator and put a kegerator out in the field and just had like an all night fire and drank a keg.
That is fun.
The next day went to the bars in Athens.
Man, that is my cousin did something very similar.
And shotguns that next morning.
Of course.
Yeah,
that just got real southern. My cousin did something similar they had a bunch of land over in Knoxville. And it was like there's a river there, so we had basically a river day and a night of like hanging out in the field and like playing ultimate frisbee and crap like that. Like that's a good old time.
Yeah,
I'm so down for something like that. So how many did you hit any of those stereotypes or things that you were talking about on your Manlorette party?
No. We may have stopped somebody from getting in a fight. If I don't remember specifically. But honestly, probably closer to somebody getting in a fight at a bar. That might have been the closest to Ice King's bachelor party that I got.
People reliving their college days in Athens, Georgia.
College days.
So the second, you said no. I mean, I don't know how you can or don't have to get anywhere as deep as you want on this question, but the second thoughts and all that stuff, like Ice King, we see him struggle with that, and it's something that obviously for him, it's like. Well, what do you mean I can't kidnap princesses and I can't be a terrible person anymore, sort of a thing. But
yeah, I mean, I see when you bring that up, and the writers in Adventure Time are really like paralleling that to when you're about to get married and you're like, oh, you mean like I can't date anymore. Like I'll never have another girlfriend. And like it hits people and they're doing it in the same way that Ice King goes, I can't steal princesses anymore.
Well, what was your experience with that sort of a thing? Didn't have that?
No, I didn't really have second thoughts at all, man.
That's great.
I was going to mention, I mean, as being an adult and as getting married, I didn't have second thoughts. I wasn't afraid of anything. It's just a big, like the wedding itself and leading up to the wedding is scary because you're like, wow, this is a big life-changing thing. And it didn't hit me like before the wedding or anything, but it is such a weird like thought and concept to go through. And then, welcome to my Ned talk over here. So
Ned talks.
But it's such a weird concept to be like somebody who I've been for my entire life, which is, a single guy and a dating guy, dating girls. But like, this is a phase. I'm moving to a phase of my life off of like one day and a ceremony and vows and commitments. And I can never go back to that again. It's not like anything that ever made me second guess, but it's like almost humbling and kind of makes it scary. You're like, oh my gosh, like I'm putting a whole chapter of my life to rest. And that's like a big decision. And I think that's why people get freaked out a little bit, not because they want to specifically go date other people.
Yeah.
But you're like, oh my gosh.
Well, I feel like, I'm closing the chapter
of this book.
And also, do you not second, like, maybe not you, but for Ice King, for instance, he was not in love with this princess, right?
Right, yeah.
But I guess the fear for a lot of people too probably is second guessing of like, oh my gosh, like, do I really know if this person's the one for me? Like, is this really like the person, God or whatever you believe in, like had planned for you to be committed to for the rest of your life, and are you a good enough person to even like full on commit to that for the rest of your life?
Yeah. Well, I didn't have that thought specifically because I knew like, I was like, yes, that is the person I'm supposed to be with 100%. But I think a lot of
that's awesome. Dang.
Is, similar with people like, and I'm glad that you pulled up that point because it kind of pulled out some more meat out of this in my thoughts was that some people are in love with the idea of getting married. And that's kind of like what Ice King's doing here is that he's just so in love with the idea of really capturing princesses and or getting married, having companionship.
For the wrong reasons, yeah.
And it doesn't matter who it is, and so he's literally just like, I would put a curse on an old lady princess in order to just be married, in order to capture the princess. And I think in the human sense, it's some people are just like, well, I bagged this person, they love me, so like get married. Like, yeah. And then they're getting married for the wrong reason. They're getting married just because it's the thing you do.
It's what you do at this age. Everybody else is getting married around me, so we should get married, sort of a thing. Or all my friends are dating people now, so I should be dating people now. Yeah. And then also, I mean, this is, we're not going to, I will see if this episode gets to the explicit thing or whatever, but like the idea, and this could be controversial, I don't know, but of like, I mean, I know Christians from college that were like trying to get married because it was like the only way in their minds for them to have sex, and it was like, they will never say, and I would never ask, but
I'm sure it's not the only reason.
No, it's definitely not the only reason.
But it's not the thing that's at the back of your mind.
No, and I think, unfortunately, it's too far to the front of some of their minds. And I know some of those things that are not happening anymore, you know? Sadly, I mean, I'm not saying that to be lighthearted about it or to poke fun of any of that stuff, because it is serious.
Yeah. And don't take this as me and Russell either. Like any of our listeners out there, like this is us speaking from personal experience, personal emotions. There's zero judgment. If you disagree with us, if you disagree, like we want to hear it, put it in the comments. Let us know. Hit us up on socials. Like hit us up if you hate us. If you hate the fact that I mean, the last thing I want to do is sound judgmental or, sitting on a high horse or being elitist or anything like that. So,
well, we are slowly building invincible neck. I'm kidding. You almost sounded like my beef for this episode.
Hit me with that beef, man.
Are we jumping into that?
Hit me with the beef.
All right. Philip DeFranco is my beef.
Oh no, I love Philly D.
Yeah, well, we're not at the end of the episode yet, but I'll just touch it real fast. I've been watching his videos for like the first time ever on YouTube recently, and he does this thing where like, we talked about this. In the comments below, I'm so curious what you'll have to say about it. But his audience is way too big for him to ever, and he's making way too much money, to ever read
to ever get there,
or actually interact with. If his name is on an interaction thing, it's probably not actually even him. It's probably an intern controlling his social media accounts or something like that. But it bothers me how insincere it is when he says that, or it feels that way, because he probably started out that way and probably did interact just like with us. Like, dude, I mean, you hit us up on TikTok or whatever. Like, I will 100% do my best to respond.
We both do. Yeah.
But that was my beef.
Well, my counter beef defense, my chicken to your beef is the fact
I like that a lot.
My chicken to your beef is that, as you know, people want to be heard on social media. People, even when they're listening to someone else's opinions or listening to someone else's podcast, they want to be heard. And I want to encourage all people to not be like, I'm afraid to post something, or I'm afraid to put something up because I'll get bullied, or then Ned will hate me because I'm like, oh, you guys definitely look up to me, I'm sure. But yes, I don't know.
One day
I still like Philly D, but there was my chicken to your beef this week.
He's fine, man. I mean, it's not really like he's a bad person or he does a bad job at what he's doing.
But as like your one,
just
like
insincere
in the pants there.
Yeah, it's like, hey, help my algorithm out. Comment below.
More comments, baby.
Yeah, like, subscribe, and send me a Venmo. But yeah, no, the other thing I was going to say, man, is just like, or not the other thing I was going to say, kind of back to talking about this episode. Jake refers to himself as the big brother in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess that's canonical, I guess.
Yeah, well, I thought we had kind of like knocked that out.
We did.
Before.
We had a fan comment their thoughts on a TikTok post talking about interacting with fans, and I just wasn't not really sure how it all lined up, but it seemed legitimate to where like maybe they are closer in age than we actually know, but I don't know.
Yeah, there is, for all of my mega fans out there that have watched the new HBO special, so the special 3 episodes, there's a really quick clip, and spoiler drop here, when BMO comes back, essentially. I'll just say that when BMO gets there, where you see like younger baby Finn and what looks like grungy aged Jake almost. He's like wearing like a leather jacket. So we could see that there was like an age gap, and they're like playing outside the treehouse or something like that. So there is the age gap. It's just hard. Like I think we've looked at it from all different angles, and we can't kind of pin it out.
We're probably over analyzing what's going on. But they totally, dude, they're like, marriage is the most beautiful thing that could ever happen to a guy like the Ice King, you know? So they encourage him. They're like, hey, this is how we get him off the map. This is how he stops kidnapping princesses, is by getting married to one who seems to be into it, until they go there. And the wedding is Finn, it's Jake, it's Ice King,
lady penguins,
and just a bunch of penguins.
And you missed the three-eyed snowman.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
the three-eyed snowman.
I was like also weirded out why the snowman had to have three eyes.
Weirdly robotic, weird-eyed. Yeah. Three-eyed snowman. But do other people live in the Ice Kingdom?
I think he's got like creatures that are kind of like his essence of like snowiness, and they might be. But there's a great episode. Actually, it's probably one of the only episodes that was nominated for an Emmy of Adventure Time.
Whoa.
About the snow golem and the fire wolves. And like it's like a whole side episode. There's like hardly any dialogue at all. It's beautiful.
That's
music's
super fun.
Great. And so, yeah, we'll get to the snow golem episode, and I'd love to see what your thoughts are on whether or not it's all this entity of like Ice King's aura bringing everything to life, or if there are actual like cold-blooded creatures that like want to live in the Ice Kingdom.
Yeah, it seems like it seems like there could be a mixture of both. But I
would say everything in the castle,
other humans.
Everything in the castle is definitely like of Ice King or Gunther's.
Gunther's, yeah. Whatever that means, I don't know. But yeah, and then also the ring. It's the curse. It kind of brainwashes the old lady princess. But it reminded me of another Codename Kids Next Door reference. There's the Yes Dear 5000, or the boyfriend helmet. Do you remember that episode?
Oh, it's you're like scratching a little itch in your head.
Lizzie, or number one's girlfriend, Lizzie, and I am not going to be able to recount this whole episode by any means, but essentially she has a helmet, and it's like a new product that's out there, and all the girlfriends are buying it for their boyfriends, and they like give it to their boyfriends. The boyfriends wear it, and then they can like change the meter to how essentially like brainwashed their boyfriend, and how just like, yes, dear, anything you want, sort of a thing that they're going to be. And it kind of reminded me of that. It's like they're present. Nigel, number one, is there. He's present. He's making choices, but his subconscious is like very heavily influenced by the helmet, depending on what level it is. And so this ring kind of functions in a similar way, where like she kind of has some will, but it's blocked off by the ring itself. Yeah. But I don't know.
Did you notice that when Jake puts the ring on, that he's not affected?
Did he put the ring on?
Yeah. So when he goes to touch the Ice King's beard,
oh, you're right. He did put it on. He has
the ring on, and I even read online. I tried to like figure out if anybody said anything, but they're like, maybe it's because of his gender, like maybe because he's a boy, that he wasn't affected by the same kind of curse, or he wasn't a princess, or I don't know what it was.
Yeah, maybe the curse was a little too specific.
Like specific princesses or something like that.
That's fascinating.
I just thought it was fascinating that like they got so freaked out about the ring was what cursed her, and then Jake just puts it right on,
Dude, the bow tie that Finn has is awesome.
Yeah, apparently their bow ties are like nunchucks on their neck,
and because crazy heavy. Like it must just be made of something like incredibly solid and incredibly heavy, because he goes out of nowhere, just takes it and smashes the whole ice.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, we're stuck," and
he tried to punch it. You heard him like, ding, 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 ding,
he couldn't
ding,
punch it off, but somehow the bow tie smash. Maybe the writers were like, no one will notice this.
Yeah,
like, we got to get him out of the ice somehow.
Wrote ourselves into a hole here.
Yeah, I can't tell.
He needs a utility belt, is kind of what I wanted to get at.
Well, he's got his backpack.
Yeah, but it's not like another Adam West reference. Like Adam West, the first Batman from the original live action,
has all the gadgets on his belt.
He's got, what is it? He's got the mechanical shark spray, which is probably my favorite Batman gadget that I've ever seen, where there's a mechanical shark that's biting his leg, and he's like, in the air trying to get onto a helicopter over an ocean, and he just happens to have this spray that's meant for mechanical sharks. He sprays it, shark falls down into the ocean and explodes. I think that's from the movie or something. I don't know. It's fantastic. But Finn needs to start utilizing just random gadgets.
He needs to fill up. I don't know. He always wears the book bag everywhere he goes.
I guess his sword is in it.
But when you watch it, his sword's actually kind of like tucked behind his book bag most of the time.
Yeah.
When he's carrying it around.
He's still using the same sword.
Yeah, he's still on like the gold. I don't know what the official name is. We can look that up. It's like the gold dinked up sword. Yeah. It's still like sword number 1. I don't think the writers have, I don't know, maybe by this point in the show, they were like, he's just got, good old Finn OG sword, but we haven't gotten into any specialty swords yet.
I kind of like it. I'm getting a little attached to the Finn sword that we currently have.
No, this isn't the Finn sword.
Oh, well, is that a thing? Okay.
Yeah.
The golden...
No spoiler drops.
Sword. Yeah, I don't know. The golden sword.
The gold sword. We'll call it that for now.
Yeah, I've never seen the show before, y'all. Again, we forgot to say that even at the beginning of this episode. So stick with me.
Stick with them there.
I'm being an idiot.
Man, well, I think after talking about what Ice King's development is and getting married, and we're like, oh, he doesn't really need to get married. I do personally see some growth in him.
I do too.
Because I think that even this innate desire to be like, I want to settle down and
also, I'm not trying to kill you.
Yeah. He's coming to Finn and Jake as friends, being like, I'm trying to make good decisions. I'm trying to be a good guy. I know that you guys don't want me kidnapping princesses, so I found a wife. Like, we start to see that growth in him. It's there, man. It's there, and it's just like so hard for him to get over his Ice Kingness.
Ice King's a creep. Ice King's a creep.
Give it time, man. Give it time.
I hate Ice King so far. I hope I come around on him.
You will. It's going to take some time, but I'm planting little seeds of. Mm-hmm. I mean, look at the first Ice King episode, capturing all the princesses, locking them in, and then even the personality. We're still in the first season too, and look at even the development between that was episode 3 to episode 17 right now, and we've got 9 more seasons of that, man.
There's 9 seasons of this show.
Yeah.
What did I sign on for? What? You're much better at that sound than I am.
Thanks, Tim Allen.
Yeah, dude. You said you had a lesson, right? Have we gotten to that yet?
We kind of hit when we were just talking through our Ned talk. That was my lesson. But maybe if we, we can read. I'll read it out loud. That marriage is hard. For as much as you are gaining, you are giving up. Even having a lifestyle that you used to have. Everything that you're gaining, which is growing old with someone, which is sharing your life with someone, is so rewarding and leads to happiness. But there's always a little bit of fear of closing that chapter on your old life. And, that's not a bad thing. For all people out there that know they've met the one, that I think it's been a blessing. It's been amazing to close that part of my life. Still so weird, so nostalgic to look back at myself as a young person. But I think the best is easily yet to come. So that's my lesson, words of encouragement,
That's awesome. It's so interesting. This might be we don't go on tangents for this show, but it's like, I've also heard, the idea of there are multiple the ones for people, and then you find the person that you think you're called to be with, sort of like that perspective too, almost takes a little bit of that fear away too, because it's I don't know, I guess the fear of the second guessing of is this person the one, that sort of idea, it's the idea that maybe there are multiple people that you could make it hypothetically work with in this world, but there is the person you're with or whatever is special to you because of what y'all have done together, and how long y'all been together and all that sort of a thing.
Yeah. I mean, a big one is kind of being and it sounds cheesy, but you're you just couldn't imagine doing life over or restarting that old chapter of your life with someone else and being it just would be weird. I would never want to do that with anyone else,
Yeah. Well, Ned, I'm not qualified to give any advice on this subject. I have only dated one person over a year, and that is happening right now. And it's good.
No, it is good. It's good. We like her. She's cool.
She's dope.
I think that's a good place to kind of like wrap things up, man.
I think it is.
Everybody's probably tired of me trying to get philosophical and give dating advice because I'm probably still underqualified for that myself, man.
I've got another lesson.
Oh, hit me, dude.
Everybody get married. Go out there right now.
Doesn't matter if you have to put a cursed ring on someone, just do it.
Do it. Come on. This is your call. Just do it, man. Go out there. Come on. What are you waiting for? Why don't you pop the question right now?
Yeah. Maybe another lesson for me, and to keep it on a lighthearted note to end, is don't hit the Manlorette party cliches because all of them suck.
Yeah. And avoid Vegas. Yeah. Oh, another lesson from me. I'm just kidding. I don't have any more. Y'all, this has been a fantastic episode of Never Ending Adventure Podcast. You can catch us on all the socials, and we'll just do this again. Instagram at Never Ending Adventure Podcast, TikTok, Never Ending Adventure Cast, Twitter, NEA_podcast. And man, just come back. Keep coming back, please.
Please listen.
Yeah. And definitely go comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear your comments below.
But we actually will read them.
We will read them
respond.
And comment and like and respond. And
yes. Very much so. All right. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
And bye-bye. Ice King has shark teeth. Anyway, we dorks love you and wish you the greatest of adventures. Never Ending Adventure has been hosted by Ned Pruitt and Russell Tyndall and engineered by Michael Hitchcock. Until next time.